Hey guys, it's Eric. So I'm here on the floor of our master bathroom, and today we're going to be working in the master bathroom, but more specifically we're going to be working in the water closet. Today we're going to be converting a standard toilet seat attached bidet into a sprayer system. This kind of bidet. Alright, let's do it. Okay, first thing I want to go over is what's a bidet. Maybe you don't know what a bidet is. So a bidet it's basically an attachment for your toilet, or it could even be a separate device, and it squirts water up into your undercarriage to clean yourself off. Why would you want to do this? It's more sanitary than just using toilet paper. You get a much fresher feeling and you're cleaner. Just adding a little bit of water. Also, you use a lot less toilet paper. So that part is really nice as well. I can say bidets are generally more common in other countries than they are here in the US, although they are gaining in popularity here in the US, as I understand it, and that's great. After having used a bidet and having bidets on toilets in friends' houses and whatnot, I knew that I couldn't go back, and I just loved the idea. I loved feeling the fresh feeling, and it was great. So I immediately went back and we got our own bidet systems, and I installed all of those on our toilets. Now the ones we got, we didn't go crazy and break the bank or anything like that. Basically, you can get bidets that are really expensive, multiple hundreds of dollars, probably even thousands of dollars. We went with a fairly cheap option. I will show it to you in a minute. But basically they're about $35.99 each, and they're these toilet seat attached bidets, and they've got dials for water intensity and whatnot, and they work pretty good. They are mostly plastic, except for the tubing is metal, and they do work pretty good. But there are a couple downsides, and I'll explain that to you when we get in the water closet there. Alright, so this is the bidet system that we have right now, and I have the same one, the identical bidet system on each of our toilets. Now this works pretty good. It's got two dials. This top dial controls water intensity, and this bottom dial, you turn it this way and it will clean the nozzle for you. Just shoots water through the nozzle but not out of the toilet. And then this is how you use it to wash. So basically, if you look here, it's got a little portion down here. This is a little shield that covers up the nozzle. So when you turn it on, I'm not going to turn it on because it will squirt the camera, but the nozzle drops down and it shoots water and it helps clean you off. It's fairly easy to install. It's mostly plastic, and it's worked pretty good. There are a few downsides to this though. One of the downsides is you can't control where the water shoots. So if it's not hitting you in the right spot, you have to kind of wiggle around and move around on the toilet, and sometimes it's not possible to get you in the right spot. Not as big of a deal for someone like me, but if for the females in the household, it can be a little bit of a bigger deal because it won't hit. You can't clean the front as well as you can clean the back, and it's just not as nice. The other thing is it's hard to actually clean these. To clean the nozzle here, it's got the cleaner that you can do like this, and you can see water dripping down there. And that'll clean most of the nozzle off. However, after having these for multiple years, they do get dirty, and you have to get in there with a sponge and you have to wipe it all down, and it's gross and it's hard to clean. So the bidet systems that are actually more popular in a lot of other places are the new ones that we got. So the new bidet systems that we're going to be installing today and replacing those old ones with is this. This is called a Purrfectzone Luxury Stainless Handheld Sprayer Kit. Now I've seen these in multiple countries. They're very popular. So rather than have the bidet as part of the actual toilet seat, it's attached with a pipe and it hangs on the side of the toilet or on a wall on the side of the toilet. And then you can use the handheld sprayer to spray yourself in the front, in the back, wherever you like. You can even use it later on to clean the inside of the toilet and stuff like that. It's just a much nicer, easier, more controllable way of cleaning yourself. These were not expensive. This was $29.95 on Amazon. The ones that we have in there were $35.99, I believe, when we bought them. It's been a few years now. Those are Neo 120s. If you want to look them up on Amazon, they're really good bidets. There are just some things that I think we would prefer over those. But I don't want to knock those because they've been great and they were really cheap and they've lasted this long and we haven't had any issues. So anyway, we're gonna unbox this, see what's included, and then we'll get to the install. Okay, let's go ahead and open up the Purrfectzone Luxury Stainless Steel Handheld Sprayer Kit Bidet System. Open up the box here and we've got instructions right away. And here is the stainless steel tube that we will be using. Does it say how long it is? I'm sure it says how long it is somewhere. 120 centimeters. Right there. So this is good. It's a good length of tube. You don't need it too long. We've got plumber's tape. And here's the actual sprayer system. This is we got a stainless steel hanger for the actual sprayer. This can hang on the tank of your actual toilet if you want the sprayer just on the tank itself. Or it looks like we can actually detach it. Detach the hanger part here. And then we've got some included screws there. And you can put this directly into the wall if you don't want it hanging off of your toilet tank. I haven't decided which way we're going to install it yet, but we'll figure that out. Then you've got a valve. This valve is going to go underneath your toilet tank. You don't want to use the water directly from the tank. You want to use it from the water supply that goes to the tank because then you're getting clean water. Excuse me. So this is the valve, and we will install that. You've got some rubber washers and grommets here. Extra washers, it's labeled, that's nice. And here's the actual sprayer. It's actually really small. Just use your thumb there to turn it on. It's got variable intensity, so it's not just spray, not spray. If you just hold it down a little bit, the spray will be weaker. If you push it down all the way, it'll be stronger spray. Yeah, it's nice. Stainless steel feels solid. And yeah, that's good. I like the size. Doesn't need to be big, it needs to be small and easy to use. So that's good. That's what's included in the box. Now we are going to start the install process. Now this install process should be fairly easy. If anything, you'll need a pair of channel locks. Yeah, that should be it. This rubber washer, did this come out? Yeah, this came out up here. Okay, the first step when you are doing anything with your toilet is to turn off the water and empty the tank. And you want to do it in that particular order. So what we're going to do is you go over here to the side of your toilet. Right there. This is the water valve right here. And you can turn this so it's perpendicular to the pipe. There we go. Now the water is off. Now what you're going to do is you're just going to flush your toilet and you're going to hold down the valve until the tank is completely empty. All right. There we go. Now that the tank is completely empty, we can start working on the toilet and we can disconnect water lines without having to worry about water dripping. Okay, now that the water is turned off and the tank is empty, I'm going to put a little bowl down here just in case to catch any residual water that might drip out, but there shouldn't be any. And you back this up. This is the valve that we have to remove, and then we have to take off the actual bidet. So the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to remove the water supply line. This is just hand tightened, so I'm just gonna unscrew that. But anyway, we've disconnected this pipe. Now we're gonna disconnect this other pipe, which goes to the old bidet system right back here. This is the one that might be a little tighter. Yeah, so I'm gonna use a pair of channel locks and we should just be able to take it off. Nothing under here should be, you know, too crazy tight. Just hand tight is mostly okay. There we go. Just loosen that up. Now we'll just undo that. All right, that one is disconnected, as you can see here. Now this valve is completely free. Let me see if you can see that. Yeah, you can see the valve. So this valve is completely free, and we can just unscrew this. But it should just unscrew. Right there, okay. And I'm just gonna let this fall right into the bowl that I put down there. There we go. And if you can see there's some, well, if you can see there's some residual water that dripped down, that's okay. Our tank is empty, so that's all that came out was a few drops, and that's good. The next step is to actually remove the old bidet system itself, which is this part here, and in order to do that, we have to take off the actual toilet seat. Toilet seats typically have 2 bolts on the back here. Most of them are plastic. There are metal ones as well. Again, a pair of channel locks will remove these, but a lot of these have these thumb screws that you can just undo with your hand. This particular one has thumb screws that we can just undo with our hand, so we're gonna go ahead and take those off. Okay, we've got the old bidet system off. As you can see, we have the toilet here, no toilet seat. When you're doing this is probably a good time to clean all back here, because if your toilet hasn't been thoroughly cleaned in a while, that's gonna be all dirty and gross. So go ahead and clean that off at the same time. Here's the old bidet system. This is what it looks like when it's not attached to a toilet. Anyway, like I said, good system, we really like it, but I think we'll like this new one a bit better. So, now that that's detached, we can actually put the toilet seat back on. So we're gonna go ahead and do that. Now that the toilet seat is back installed, it's time to install the new bidet system. Step 1 on the new install is to install this T-valve. This T-valve is replacing the old T-valve that we took off, which is this one here. This is going to attach right to the bottom of your tank. Right there. This is where it's going to attach. The first thing that you want to do is that one of the most common places where toilets leak is right here at the bottom of the tank, right there. So in order to help prevent that, we are going to put on some included plumber's tape. That's this stuff right here, this white stuff. Basically, you're just going to wrap that around the threads underneath here. Next part is actually just putting on the T-valve, and this is pretty easy. You've got a plastic portion here that will just screw on with your hand, and you don't need to use any wrenches or anything. You need 2 hands for this though. Alright, there we go. T-valve is installed. Alright, the next step is to actually attach the bidet sprayer hose to the T-valve we just put in. Now this side, you can see this side is shaped a little bit different. We'll take off this plastic here, as well as this protective washer. This is the actual end that goes into the bidet sprayer, not the supply line itself. This is the end that goes into the supply, or the T-valve rather. So we're gonna pull this plastic protector off, unscrew this, there we go. Now this is gonna go into the side of the T-valve. Let me get you a better view. Right there, into the side of the T-valve, just like that. Now this one, you want to do a little bit more than hand tighten. So let me get my channel locks. Just to make sure you don't run into any leaks or anything later. You use a pair of pliers or channel locks to just tighten this up a little bit more. And that's it. You don't need it insanely tight. Just a little tighter than you can do with your bare hands, unless you're really, really strong. All right, next step, attach the water supply line to the bottom of the T-valve. This is easy. Once again, it has a plastic hand screw-on nozzle or end, and we will just screw that on. Okay, with everything hooked up that way to the T-valve, this is how it should look. So you have your water supply line coming into the bottom here, and then you have the pipe going out to the bidet out the side here. And then you've got this little valve that you can move, and this controls the water flow. So you want the water flowing to the bidet, and I'm not sure which side is on or off. I believe when it's set up this way, the water will flow to the actual bidet system as well as the toilet. If it's this way, you can turn the water off to the bidet system itself, but I believe it will stay on for the toilet. We're gonna test that once the install is complete. The other T-valve didn't have an on-off valve like that at the T-joint. Instead, the on-off was at the dials that I showed you earlier. Okay, next step, install the actual sprayer to the end here. So we'll go ahead and bring this all the way up, and we'll just screw on the sprayer. And that's pretty much it. Your bidet is now installed, but we have the hanger here. Now for this, I'm just gonna put it for now on the side of the toilet. I'll decide later if I want to actually attach it to the wall. Yeah, I'm actually probably going to want to attach it to the wall just because it'll look nicer. Okay, when you've reached this stage and everything's hooked up and your sprayer is hanging there, we can actually turn the water back on, and we can make sure we don't have any leaks. So we can go down here and we will turn the water back on. And you'll hear the toilet tank start to fill back up. So we'll wait for that to fill up real quick, and then we'll actually test the bidet. While it's filling up, you want to make sure you're not getting any drips over here. Make sure all your seals are good. We're not getting any drips or anything like that, so that's real good. All right, now that our tank is full, we can actually test the bidet system. So, open our toilet here. We'll grab our bidet, our sprayer. Wow, and there we go. You can see, sprayer works. You can use it to clean out the toilet here. You can limit the flow of water so it's not so harsh. And yeah, that's good. Okay, so what this tells me, let me hang this back up, is that when this valve, the T valve here that we were playing with, when it's this way, that means water's flowing. So if we do it that way, I shouldn't get any water. Yep, no water to the bidet system. Now, let's see if the toilet flushes. Toilet will flush, and the tank will still refill. So that's really good. Basically, you want to leave your bidet system on all the time, but you do have that valve down there where you can just shut off the water to the bidet sprayer itself, but your toilet will still operate as normal. So it's good. It's kind of like a fail-safe valve. So that's nice. Yeah, pretty easy to install. I am gonna put this on the wall here, just because I think it looks nicer, and I'll show you what it looks like when that part's complete. All right, guys, the bidet is fully installed. As you can see, it's on the wall there. Looks just like that. And when you're on the toilet, you can very easily just reach around and grab it. Spray yourself all off. I don't know why I panned the camera down there, but you get the idea. That's what a bidet's for, and that's how you install it. Thank you guys for joining me. I hope you guys enjoyed and found this video helpful. A lot of the plumbing skills that are used in this you can use for basic piping fixes and stuff like that underneath sinks, bathroom sinks, kitchen sinks, as well as toilets. So a lot of those plumbing fixes are pretty easy to do. Leaks are the most common issue, and you can fix those up pretty easy, or at least find out where they're coming from and make a plumber's job a little easier if you have to. Once again, if you guys have any questions, please feel free to ask me. Join my Instagram or follow me on Instagram. Come hang out with me there. Come hang out with me on Twitter, or you can tweet at me, or you can leave comments. Do whatever you want. I try to respond to all comments, and if you have any questions, just feel free to ask me. Like and subscribe. Thank you for joining me for another problem solved.